With the Butt Kicker Gamer 2, what you see and what you hear is what you feel. Butt Kicker. The future is feeling.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly wailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets regular the bombs bursting in air gave proof
And you gotta love it. Sometimes technical things pop up on us, and well, how you doing? How you feeling out there in TV Land race fans? Glad you could all join us here tonight. We're gonna catch up on some things throughout tonight's race. We do apologize. Looks like a wire loose in the booth kept some of the commentary out, so we do apologize about that. We'll get into everything that you missed here in just a moment. Let's not miss any of the action out on the track here tonight. I'm never gonna live this one down, by the way. My phone is already lit up about 5 times. So, on we roll, right? The All-Star 15 TV number 9 machine gun, Mike Capaccio gonna go to the front of the field, leading that inside lane, followed by Dalton Fredericks. John Wimbish gonna give up the top spot, but stays at the front of the line on the high side. Todd Graham, 4 positions from where he qualified. Very short run to the front from 8th to 4th in just 3 laps. So at 3 laps underneath our belt, we'll drop that time in scoring over there to the left-hand side of your screen. We'll let you find and follow along with your favorite driver here tonight, just in case, you know, we kick a wire and you don't hear us again. Bailey's number 1 fan, we do appreciate the heads up. Right when we looked over and seen is when the phone started going off, letting, well, I won't say letting me know. I was getting an earful actually by the boss man back at the headquarters, and you know, to double check the mic cords. And there it is, but nonetheless, we're gonna just keep it moving here tonight, side by side racing action for your top 8 positions on the track. A little smaller field here tonight. These Gen 4 machines, we seen over 30 drivers on the track last night. The Performance Motorsports Truck Series here tonight in the Ayers iRacing Paints Cup Series. Only 19 drivers out on the track, but make no mistake about it, drafting in the trucks while they're kidding. And getting the sponsors paid early here tonight. We're back trackside, continuing this green flag run to open up tonight's Do It For Dale 225 back across the stripe. Once again, Mike Capaccio and John Wimbish continue the battle for the top spot. The handful of drivers Jockeying for positions throughout this field so far, biggest mover of the night, Big John. That's right, John McMillan Jr. behind the wheel of that number 15 machine. You can see him as he is working that outside line, trying to move a little bit closer to the front of the field, trying to break inside of the top 5 for the first time. As drivers make their way through 3 and 4, we'll cross the line and put lap number 10 on the board. So you want to know what it's like to drive a stock car on a super speedway? Let's jump on board with the 15 machine. Going to go around the track just a little bit here with the driver behind the wheel of that number 15 machine, John McMillan Jr., sitting in the 10th position. The overall championship standings coming into tonight's race. Looking for his 3rd win on the season, John Jr. works that high side, sitting in 4th for the moment. John Wimbish still holding on to that inside lane. You see a lot of movement out of these cars, but what you don't see is a lot of pushing and shoving throughout this field. We've seen a lot of pushing and shoving, and 3 wide for the first time. Guys, let's jump out the car. We're going to jump outside of the car. Watch this 3 wide racing as contact. Contact between Collier. And I believe that was the 51 of McMillan Sr. Yes, it was a little bit of contact there. Todd Craig going to go up, side draft that high lane, and he's going to grab the top spot. Grabs the top spot on the high side, now looking for the race lead. Wimbish going to move to the middle. Going to block the run by Craig. A little bit of momentum lost here as Collier does. Oh, and who's going to get it there? Going to give it to Hunter Collier. He wanted to get that lap led, and he's got that underneath his belt now. You can see the Old Spice. Number 3. Of Roy Fernandez getting back up to speed. Unfortunately, Fernandez with some problems, and he had to go to pit road for a handful of laps. Brian Wasserman. Issues in contact. The engine gonna blow, and Wasserman goes behind the wall. So the gamble to lead the lap has paid off for Hunter Collier as he's dropped down to the inside line, now just in front of that U.S. Army number 56 machine of John Wimbish. Todd Cray still trying to find a way to lead a lap here as Wimbish looks to the middle. Todd Cray going to go back to that bottom. Gonna have to watch, keeping that high line open for the drivers behind him. You see the 51 peeking out to the right-hand side just a little bit, trying to get some cool air, I would assume, but Craig gonna have to keep his eyes in every mirror. So to recap some of the things that went on here tonight already in the qualifying session, walking away with the pole award here tonight. 47 machine of Daniel Krim. He's lost 9 positions. Then you can see in that All-Star 15 TV machine. He's about the 5th, 6th car in line on that inside lane. Kind of drop back through the field, settling in just a little bit, but your pole sitter seems to be pretty comfortable. Points, big time here at Talladega. Race number 8 in the 10-week regular season. We had drivers in the Truck Series last night secure themselves with the opportunity to run for that season championship. We have a handful of drivers tonight that with solid top 10 finishes, they will also punch their tickets to the playoffs. We've got 5 season winners coming into tonight's race. Talladega, one of those crapshoots. One of the ones that you can put all of these drivers' number in the hat, shake it up a little bit, pick one out, and they've got just as good of a chance of walking away with the checkered flag here tonight as anybody in the field. So with a little bit on the line, with just 2 races remaining after tonight in the regular season, things definitely getting down to the nitty-gritty. Drivers are definitely going to have to start making that transition. You always talk about, you hear it in professional sports all the time, knowing when to flip that switch or peaking at the right time. And these next handful of weeks, these drivers are going to have to hone in on what needs to be done to walk away with the season championship. Just 5 weeks to get the job done. We'll see who gets there. We'll see who walks away in a handful of weeks. But first, we're going to find out who walks away with the second checkered flag in the Do It For Dale 225 right here from Talladega Superspeedway. You're watching the Ayers iRacing Paints Up Series. Still side by side for your top 8 positions here as we cross the line. Lap number 18 going to go under our belts. A long green flag run to open things up here tonight from Talladega Super Speedway. And you got to ask yourself, I mean, it's Talladega. Excuse us. It's Talladega. How long can these drivers keep this up? We always see the big one. Unfortunately, last night for a handful of those Truck Series teams, the big one happening right at the start-finish line in our second green-white checkered attempt to finish the race, coming to the checkered flag just maybe 100 yards from the start-finish line. Carnage chaos broke out. We had drivers finishing on their sides. We had drivers slamming into the wall after the checkered flag. It was a crazy finish to last night's race. Will we see it happen again here tonight? We'll continue the long green flag run halfway down the back stretch, side by side for your race lead. Todd Cray with the advantage on the high side. Take a look off the back end of a handful of these drivers machined on board with the Chevy Camry tonight. Dalton Fredericks sitting in that 8th position. You can see Daniel Krim right behind him in his Ford Fusion, the 47 machine right there, just looking for a tow right now. Looks comfortable on the low line. Looks like just happy to log a handful of laps. You see the 48 machine of Corey Melton slotting in line as well. The 48 Lowe's machine running well here tonight. Let's take a look back off of the tail end of John Wimbish of the U.S. Army. Number 56 machine. Inside of your top 5, you can see just to his outside. That's the double O of Nick Hunt, John McMillan Sr. John McMillan Jr. right here running out the front. Early race leader Mike Impaggio right behind. What's it look like from the race lead? Well, we've got him on board a camera shot to show you here tonight. There you can see Todd Cray right on that rear deck lid. No real pushing, but right there giving him all the momentum that he can. The McMillans at the top. They've got help from Nick Hunt as well as the 6th of Elsie Daly. Daly with a fine run here tonight. Started outside of the top 10. Now sitting in the 7th position. 4th car outside lane. And now that we're looking at this, right? We're 21 laps into this green flag run. It looks like a lot of these guys begin to go single file, bottom of the racetrack. Typically, that will signify when drivers are beginning to eyeball that pit road entry and eye their way into the pits for their first green flag pit stop. For the moment, both the McMillans stuck on the high side. The double of Nick Hunt also up top, still running with him is the 6th of Elsie Daly. He's got that Summit Racing machine looking good here tonight inside of the top 10. And we didn't get to see what happened with Fernandez. But some issues here tonight for Fernandez. Found his way. Needed to go back down pit road. Gave up a handful of laps here. Fernandez, one of those drivers that are, if he can walk away with just a handful of points here tonight, maybe some troubles out of some more drivers. If he can walk away with a top 16, and I know that's an odd number, but that's the way the math shakes out. You know what? I just do the math. That's all I'm saying. Nonetheless, Fernandez has the opportunity to secure himself with the opportunity at running for the season championship. Still side by side as there's those green flag pit stops. Todd Craig, Corey Melton, Bailey Dutton, all to pit road. This time around, so will it be the short strategy that tends to be best here tonight? Or will it be stretching the field long? We seen last night in the trucks. Of the group of drivers that came to pit road last seemed to be able to come back out with that race lead. We'll see how things shake out this time by, and it looks like we've got a pit road penalty. The 48 Lowe's machine of Corey Melton will be popped by the pit road police speeding. Coming on to pit road, the 48 will lose a lap, and he's going to lose a ton of track time. Meanwhile, race leaders, 25 laps. All the board still side-by-side racing for your top 8 positions. 17 of Tommy Hayes just kind of hanging out there. You can see him down there on the inside lane, sitting behind your pole sitter, Daniel Krim. And here's the next wave of drivers to pit road. Hard on the brakes. You can see him locking him up, coming to pit road, and looks like they may have been able to get it down the speed on time. We'll watch that one unfold. Hunter Collier, John Wimbish, and Tommy Haynes to pit road. So 2 groups of 3 drivers to pit road. One driver already popped who's speeding coming onto pit road. Will crew chiefs be reminding their drivers to watch your speed? Let's be nice and clean here. It's a little early. Let's not get behind the 8 ball. Nice smooth stops for Wimbish, Haynes, and Collier. They're going to get some fuel and get back out on track. And now a mass exodus as multiple drivers going to come to pit road. Daniel Krim, Dalton Fredericks, both the McMillans, Compaggio, May, Sleeper, and Duncan. All to pit road. That's going to leave the 2 on screen. Out on track, out front, just around the corner of a third of the way through tonight's race. Nick Hunt going to take over the race lead, become our fifth different leader here tonight from Talladega Super Speedway. And to do it for Dale, 2:25. Daly glued to his rear deck lid. Watching the speed charts and watching the backstretch here. Todd Gray, Bailey Dutton able to leapfrog Wimbish and Haynes. So the short pit might possibly be the way to go. These two drivers going to give each other plenty of room to come to pit road, and we're going to watch as Dalton Fredericks gets back on track and back up to speed. Todd Gray, Bailey Dutton leapfrogging their way through the running order right now. Just 4 cars back from Fredericks. They're going to easily get by Branch and McMillan Jr. Closing in quick now is the dynamic duo of Dalton and Gray. Oh, I apologize, Gray and Dutton. Closing in on Dalton Fredericks at the front. How about Roy Fernandez? He's found a place to run right. He's going to be right here near the front, looking to get himself one of his laps back. Fernandez on the pit road, came back out on the track right around lap number 8. So Fernandez has got a little ways to go on fuel, but he will lose a lap when he does come to pit. Well, he might not lose that lap. Might be able to keep that thing fired up. We'll see about it. Got a little bit of a Talladega Knights feel behind the wheel of that number 3 machine. Roy Fernandez, one of those drivers with a very solid season, right? The Lansing, Michigan native. Coming into tonight's race, just 32 points out of the overall points championship lead. And with if he can, like we said, if he can get a top 16, we believe he will secure that chance to run for the season championship. We'll have to wait to see how it all pans out. And what happened to Bailey? Well, he's sitting right here in second. 26 machine of Bailey Dutton right behind Todd Gray. Showing the way here. Lap machine in between himself and the rest of the lead lap cars. Single file here as Wimbish leads Haynes, Collier, and Fredericks. A tough break here for, excuse me, for that 48 machine of Corey Melton. It was fast, running inside of your top 5. Came to pit road with Dutton and Gray. Unfortunately, popped for speeding. He is now listed as the first driver, 1 lap down. Sitting in the lucky dog position. We don't like to see those pesky yellow flags fly, but I think he might want one. Trouble coming to pit road. John McMillan Sr. not going to have a good green flag pit exchange. He's going to lose a ton of ground contact with the inside wall coming to pit road. A little bit of damage control there. McMillan Sr. falls back to 17th. So we got two fields. We've got 2 groups in the field here tonight. Your top 9 all right here running in line with each other. A handful of lap cars mixed up with this lead pack. The back here, Elsie Daly leads the second pack of lead lap drivers. Nick Hunt right behind him. Casey Duncan, Cody Sleeper, Gary May rounding out this 5-car group. 4.4 seconds back. We'll see if they're going to be able to see if they're faster somehow. I don't see how these 5 cars are going to be faster than the 9 cars that are all single file, nice and organized in a line. Nobody really pushing the issues in that lead pack. And there it is, losing a little bit of ground through 1 and 2, just about 2 tenths lost by this second pack. We'll head back to the front as Dalton Fredericks, he's had enough. He doesn't want to sit idly any longer. He looks to the high side. He's got help from Compaggio. And just as we bring it to the front, Frederick's going to say, never mind. He's going to drop back down to the bottom. And that's the 22 machine. Where did he come from? Jason Branch is showing up on the scene. In that barn, number 22 machine. Hi, Ken. No? Can I get it? Never mind. If you know, you know. Side by side for the race lead. Now Jason Branch is not satisfied. He wants to get a lap led in his back pocket. We'll work our way off of turn number 4 back to the tri-oval. Coming to the start finish line this time by lap number 34 goes on the board. 34 on the board with 3 wide at the front. Hunter Collier trying his hand here. Looking for a 3-wide situation for just a brief moment. They'll get that sorted out. Back side by side for your top positions as we head down the back stretch. About 10 laps away from the halfway point here tonight from Talladega Super Speedway. The laps are clicking off quick. And now the problem's just being compounded. The 48 Lowe's machine of Corey Melton coming into tonight's race. Melton just needs to finish. That's all he needs. He just needs to finish here tonight to walk away with points, and he's having a little bit of a rough go at it right now. Up for speeding on the pit road on our first green flag pit cycle exchange. He's went 1 lap down, now falling the second lap down. And right, 1 lap is manageable. Very easy, pretty easy to get back. 2 laps down, it's a little rougher to work that strategy to get yourself back on the lead lap and back in contention for a race win. We'll see how the rest of the night goes. Corey Melton sits 2 laps down. Another driver in trouble here tonight with the pit road police. Your pole sitter behind the wheel of this 47. There you can see the All-Star 15 TV. Number 47 of Daniel Krim listed as the first driver. 1 lap down. So from starting the race at the front of the field to now fighting to keep yourself in a lucky dog position should some crazy carnage or chaos happen. And what a turn of events, right? So what that does for us race fans, that sets the tone. Right, we've had 2-3 drivers called with pit road penalties. It's gotta be on the back of the crew chief's minds. Most of the field came down to pit right around lap 23 to lap 26. So we've got pretty good distance to go here before drivers will be eyeballing pit road for their second stop. But we're knocking on the door of the halfway point. You're almost going to begin to lock yourself into that race strategy, right? There's not going to be a whole lot more of changing up that you're going to be able to do. As there you see Roy Fernandez going to fall back a fourth lap down now. Tough night for that Old Spice number 3. And with the laps led here tonight, Corey Melton did get a lap led. I do believe that 48 did get a lap led, and he will secure his spot in the championship. 16, Todd Gray with a lap led. He's also going to secure his spot. Dalton Fredericks, he needs to lead a lap, get at least 1 point out of tonight's race, and he will lock himself in. Not in the field here tonight. Justin Gay comes into tonight's race 4th in the overall point standings. Mathematically, he could fall out. With 2 more weeks remaining, he'd have to have 2 pretty horrible nights. But mathematically, a possibility for Justin Gann to miss out on the post-race playoffs, or postseason playoffs. Still alive and well, Roy Fernandez looking for a point or 2 somewhere along the lines here tonight to try to walk away with a chance to run for your championship. Bailey Dutton also with Ryder, locking himself into the championship 16. We're getting word now that the 47 of Daniel Krim, with walking away with the points for the pole position, he's going to lock himself in to the championship 16. So the field getting crowded when it comes to the championship 16. Jason Branch fighting for his championship hopes and dreams. We'll see if the Barbie number 22 can get to victory lane here tonight for the first time this season. But how about Hunter Collier? They're on that outside lane. 38 machine. He's just been kind of plaguing, lingering on that outside all alone. No help, just kind of right there, side drafting a little bit here and there, but he is not letting the much bigger, more organized line on the inside just walk away. Just around the corner of that halfway point, with things being so fluid at the front, we're just going to spotlight and highlight the entire field here tonight. I want to run by all of the drivers. Biggest mover of the race, front of the field, showing the way. Jason Branch behind the wheel of that number 22 machine. There you can see the Virginia Beach native trying to get the victory lane for the first time here this season. Meanwhile, the man right behind him, looking for his 3rd victory of the year, John McMillan Jr., one of the drivers you can trust in the draft. He sits in 2nd, Todd Cray back in 3rd, Bailey Dutton sitting in 4th, now 5th place. Up for grabs between Wimbish and Collier. As this long green flag run continues, your mid-race run down looks a little something like this. 19 drivers to the starting grid here tonight. We have still got 18 out on the track with only 14 left on the lead lap. Nick Hunt sitting off the lead lap, back with a pack of 5 drivers. Casey Duncan, Cody Sleeper, Gary May, Elsie Daly, who we've seen near the front of the field, falling back now, over 17 seconds behind this group right here. Let's go back to this group right here. 18 seconds behind your race leaders. That is just about a half a track. Just about a half a lap. These guys are going to have to find some speed. They're going to have to find some help. But I think they're going to need the unfortunate help from somebody else's mistake. So as these guys nice and orderly single file 10th on through 15th, we're going to head back up near the front of the field as these drivers still single file making their way. Out of turn number 4, back through the trial across the start-finish line once again. Here from Talladega Super Speedway, you can see all the fans in the stands continue to cheer on their drivers as we go high above the track now for the first time tonight. With the turn 3 drone cam cross sticks on display, we are halfway. Getting a little bit of help from some lap machines on the high side. There you can find Hunter Collier running, looking to get himself back out front. All 3 drivers lined up behind him on the high side are at least 1 or multiple laps down. Belton, McMillan Sr., along with Fernandez, all listed multiple laps off of the lead lap, 2-4 laps down, but that doesn't mean they can't change the dynamics and change the situation here. Looking to get Hunter Collier to the front of the field. Still side by side for the race lead as the field heads into 1 and 2. Hunter Collier looks like he was able to grab that top spot, and he's going to do so and slide right down to the bottom of the racetrack. Leave the high side for the lap drivers who are fighting to get themselves one of their laps back. Daniel Krim fighting to get himself back on the lead lap. But as soon as Fernandez clears, he drops to the bottom, and that's going to hurt the run on the high side. So caught up on the halfway point. Lap drivers trying to get themselves at least one of their laps back. We have lost track of the lap count. We are working lap number 49. We are very close to our second round of green flag pit stops. Look for these drivers within the next, I would say, 5 to 6 laps. All head back to pit road. Very big opportunity here for Daniel Krim to try to work his way back onto the lead lap. Very crucial here for Corey Melton to get one of his 2 laps back should more drivers have trouble coming to pit road. We'll cross the line this time around in lap number 50. We'll go on the board, just 40 laps remaining. Here to do it for Dale 225, brought to you by Ayers Eye Racing Paints, Cup Series, and Swift Motorsports. What a night of racing we've had here tonight. Clean and green all the way through so far. So while you're at it, while you're here, while you're watching some great restrictor plate action, if you haven't already, show these drivers some love and appreciation. Let them know you enjoy all of the racing action, not just here tonight, but each and every night. Go ahead and drop that thumbs up big lockup by Fernandez. He looks like he may have been a little too fast. Big group of drivers to pit road. Fredericks and Compaggio will stay out on track. Collier, Gray, McMillan Jr., Tommy Haynes, Jason Branch. All to pit road this time by Bailey Dutton, Cody Sleeper, Gary May, Elsie Daly, and Nick Hunt. The pit road as well. So here it is. Dalton Fredericks with that lap lead. He was accredited with that last lap lead. He does indeed secure his chance at a championship here this season, and he's going to make sure it's official. He's going to come back around once again. When will Fredericks and Compaggio come to pit road? You know, I'm starting to think these guys, they're going to have to make at least one more stop. Right, we're right around 48 laps remaining here tonight. The longest green flag run that we have seen so far. Dalton Fredericks going to mirror his last run on the fuel, working lap 26 after the pit stop on lap 26. But another 26 that doesn't get you to the finish. You're gonna be about 10 laps short here. What are drivers gonna do? When do they come to pit road? Handful of these guys off the lead lap, but now during this green flag pit cycle, we're down to only 9 drivers left on the lead lap. And there it is. There's the exit from the racing surface. Fredericks going to lead Compaggio to pit road. They've got help from some lap machines. That's going to be your pole sitter, the 47 of Daniel Grimm, working his way down pit road. How about the pit cycle for this guy right here? Behind the wheel of that, Aaron's U.S. Army. Number 56 machine, John Wimbish, gonna go to the point. John McMillan Jr. picking up a position on the green flag pin exchange. Todd Craig gonna slot in third. And Bailey Dutton gonna pick up, I believe it's gonna be one position here in the green flag pit stop exchange. Hunter Collier. He's been the guy that has not been content. Right, we're not going to fault him for it, but he does not want to follow. That 38 wants to lead. While we love the enthusiasm, right? If I'm one of these drivers inside of this top 5, we've got ourselves a bit of a gap, about a 2-second gap. Guys, let's calm it down here. Let's get a little closer to the end. We're going to have at least one more green flag pit cycle. I'm going to be kind of just chilling. I'm going to be sitting here probably right around where that 17D Walt Carhartt machine of Haynes is. I'm going to be just hanging out here, making sure I don't lose the draft, but I don't want to even think about going 2-3 wide. I want to try to separate ourselves from the guys behind us. Right, we had over an 18-second lead on the second pack. We've got a 5-second lead now over Dalton Fredericks and Mike Compaggio. That second pack has been broken up. Compaggio and Fredericks all alone in a 2-car tandem. Jason Branch, single, solo. And there's the pit road penalty. Roy Fernandez being called back down pit road, too fast on pit road entry, and Fernandez will fall further behind. So we've got that second 2-car pack. We've got Jason Branch all by himself here. But then we've got a 4-car pack. Cody Sleeper, Elsie Danley, Gary May, and Nick Hunt. They were able to work together coming to pit road. Formed up very quickly coming off of pit road. They've lost a little bit of ground to your race leader. They can see right now, I believe it's going to be about a 25-second gap here to Cody Sleeper. So losing about 10 seconds somewhere along the line. These 4 drivers, they're going to have to figure something out. They're going to have to get going. So let's get going. Back to the front ourselves, behind the wheel of this 15 machine. He's been running well all night and all season. Let's jump on board and take a look at the man putting in work in the office behind that 15 machine, John McMillan Jr. Running near the front. A little look at the 38 of Hunter Collier. How about the blacked out Peak Racing? The driver inside of that 38 machine. He's sitting in the 5th position. Do you want to see Bailey Dutton? Here's Dutton. Nice and bright inside of that thing. You know what? If we didn't know him, we might think he's a fan of McDonald's. A little Ronald McDonald like. Just saying. Just jokes. Just jokes. A little further back through the field, let's take a look at the Green Goblin himself behind the wheel of the Summit Racing number 6 machine. Elsie Danley sits at 11. Nick Hunt in the double O John Deere machine. He's got that stroker race helmet on. If you know, you know. If you don't know, watch it. You gotta watch it. One of the all-time great racing movies. Stroker races. Just you gotta watch it. So we'll continue to jump around the track just a little bit. Back out front with the race leaders battling for that top spot. John McMillan Jr. gonna lead that lap. And we're getting to the nitty-gritty. I know when you look at that lap account over there to the left-hand side of your screen, we've got ourselves about 32 laps remaining. Seems like a very long way to go. Over 60 miles of racing action still remaining here tonight. The way these drivers have been going at it. Very fast-paced race. We have been green flag racing since the drop of the initial green flag here tonight at Talladega Super Speedway in the Do It for Dale 225, sponsored by SwiftMotorSports. You're watching the Airs Eye Racing Paints Cup Series green flag racing for 59 laps. We work our way down the backstretch here on lap number 60. I don't want to jinx it and say these guys are going to do it, but this is really going to feel like we may not see the big one until the last one. Dutton looking a little squirrely down there. 3rd car inside lane. Tail end looked a little happy coming out of turn number 4 and through the tri-oval. We're watching Hunter Collier continue that close side drafting action, trying to slow the roll. These drivers here at the front. Drivers to pit road right about 11 laps ago. Your top 6 right here running with each other. All came to pit road together. All came to pit road on lap number 50. So the fuel mileage, the same for these drivers in this group. Maybe for Todd Gray, possibly Bailey Dutton, Tommy Haynes, you may have been able to save a lap. Maybe a lap right now. Maybe save a lap in the draft. But do you risk it? Do you push it for that extra lap? We've seen the short pit really pan out for Dutton and Gray here tonight. Will they stay par for the course and continue these short stops? And you know what? Yeah, these drivers are going to be able to come to pit road, right? And I would say in about another 10 laps or so. These guys are going to be able to come to pit road and make it to the end from there. So, what's the strategy call? When do you do it? You know you can run 25. Do you come to pit road here in the next 4 or 5 laps? Or do you run the fuel dry to get less fuel to make it to the end? What if your math is wrong? What if you're supposed to get an extra 1/10 of a gallon and you just don't get it? You run the risk of running out. So while your pit stop may be a tick quicker, you may not get enough fuel. And if I'm on, we're gonna give you a little glimpse. Well, I won't say a glimpse inside the mind of a crew chief. Had the pleasure and the opportunity to be a spotter and a crew chief for some championship racers here on iRacing.com. And my thoughts right now is I'm gonna try to get a hold of Dutton's spotter. I'm going to try to get a hold of his crew chief. I'm going to let him know, hey, look, we're eyeballing a pit stop right around lap 66, lap 67. Are you going to come with me? And then I'm trying to convince the 17, maybe that 15 as well. Hey, look, we're going to try to catch these other 2 guys out. We're going to try to catch Wimbish sleeping. We're going to try to trap that 38 on the high side and make it an abrupt pull to pit road. We got 2 laps. I need you to come with us. Us 4 will step away and we'll battle it out to the end. I'm trying to politic and parlay that into reality. If I'm behind the wheel of that 21 or that 26, I'm trying to get drivers to come to pit road and make that move as late as possible. Right? Let's not try to give away the strategy and allow our competition to adjust. So the pit road window is open this time by. We've got 25 to go here from Talladega Super Speedway. What a night, what a race, clean and green all night long. 19 drivers to the starting grid. We have still got 16 left running on the track, but only 13 left on the lead lap. Nick Hunt going to be listed as the final driver on the lead lap. Daniel Krim still fighting to get his way back onto the lead lap. Just having a really rough time at it. We talked about Dalton Fredericks and Mike Compaggio kind of being all alone. They found help. They found a third, the 47 of Daniel Krim. That's going to help out their chances to run down your race leaders, but they are over 7.5 seconds back and dropping a few tenths every couple laps. Fredericks and Compaggio are going to need a caution. Went from leading the race to now working with a lap car, the 22 Barbie. Machine of Jason Branch. Trouble. Big trouble for Branch. Sitting 22 seconds back behind your race leader. 14 seconds off of the 2-car tandem of Fredericks and Compaggio. Branch in dire need of a caution. Another handful of seconds back This group of drivers right here, it's a big mix. Cody Sleeper and the 01 Wonder Bread Machine. The shades of Ricky Bobby looking to find a way back up into the mix and be relevant for tonight's checkered flag. The Summit Racing number 6 of LC Daly right behind him. Gary May, Nick Hunt, Daniel Krim. Looking to try to help Fredericks and Campaggio Krim off the lead lap, but Hunt, he's got to get going. And down below, it's got to get going. Laps winding down, only 22 laps now remain, and it looks like John McMillan Jr. has had enough. He's had enough of being the final car in this lead pack. He's going to jump to the high side and try to help out Hunter Collier as Collier looks for the race lead once again. So I guess the crew chiefs didn't like my strategy. It looks like driver's gonna run this one on out. Lap number 70 on the board this time around. Would expect to see drivers to pit road here the next 5 to 6 laps. Gonna leave us with only 15 laps of racing remaining here tonight. And again, if you haven't shown these drivers some love and appreciation, 70 laps of green flag racing at Talladega Superspeedway. 2 and 3 wide at times early here tonight after our second round of green flag pit stops. Handful of drivers falling out of the fray. Gaps beginning to open up, beginning to build, separating themselves now at the front. Your top 6 look to settle it amongst themselves. Right, there's drivers in this field right now looking to see, hoping they can get a late race caution to catch back up. I can guarantee you, these 6 drivers, they want nothing of the sorts. They want to see this thing finish out under green flag conditions. Cody Sleeper, Jason Branch, Casey Duncan a pit road this time around. That's going to end up dropping them off of the lead lap. They are getting up to speed, but they are going to lose a lap late here at Talladega. So as we begin to wind down the laps, under 20 laps to go here from Talladega Superspeedway, you're watching the doubleheader Do It for Dale 225 for the Airs High Racing Paints Cup Series, brought to you by SwiftMotorSports right here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. Great racing action here tonight. Phenomenal job by these guys. To run as many green flag laps as they have, right? I mean, it's almost unheard of. But, you know, these guys tend to surprise us week after week. A much different race from what we seen last week at North Wilkesboro Speedway. From short track, beating and banging, the super speedway high side hanging. Although this lead pack, not on the high side. Whatever. Hanging out on the high side has been Hunter Collier though, so he's going to prove us right on that one. Dropping from P3 to P5, now back up to P3 once again. His Bailey Dutton. Good to see the fan out there enjoying tonight's race, rooting along his driver. If you haven't already, show these drivers that love and appreciation for all of the green flag racing action here tonight from Talladega Superspeedway as Campaggio Fredericks and Krim, the pit road this time by. And Wimbish to pit road this time around. Tommy Haynes looked to go back to the track, and then whoa, trouble. Trouble to pit road. Tommy Haynes may have been too quick. That's going to change the dynamics of this lead pack. What once was a 6-car pack, now down to 4. Bray leads Dutton, McMillan Jr., and Hunter Collier. 3 out of your top 4. You can see highlighted in that turn 3 orange. They have been to victory lane. Todd Craig, 2 visits to victory lane. The 15 of John McMillan Jr., 2 trips to victory lane. And they're going to peel from the track and down the pit road this time by. Bailey Dutton looking for that second race win. We'll see if he can get the job done. But looking for his first win. This man right here looks like a fuel-only stop for the U.S. Army. Number 56, John Wimbish, going to get off a pit road and get up to speed. And Tommy Haynes indeed popped by that pit road police, and he's going to drop a handful of positions with that pit road penalty. Tough break here tonight for Haynes. So John Wimbish all alone here from leading the race, coming to pit road, to finding yourself all alone. No dancing partner. And a tough night here now in store. In store for this U.S. Army number 56 machine. Wimbish over 3 seconds back from your top 4. Will he be able to close in enough to get a little sniff of the draft out of these 4 drivers out front? Todd Cray and Bailey Dutton somehow separated themselves from John McMillan Jr. and Hunter Collier. So it's a 2-car tandem. At the front of this field, we got 2 groups of 2. Wimbish solo, all alone. Fredericks and Compaggio, 2-car tandem as well. So the pit stops have been the great equalizer here tonight. And these 2 guys have figured a way out. Todd Cray, Bailey Dutton, eyeballing race wins here tonight. Will the teammates get a little risky at the front of the field? Or will there be some sort of team orders? Will we see Bailey get his second win to pull even with Gray and John McMillan Jr.? Or will the team radio say, hey, let's get Gray into a different bracket by himself? What I'm telling the drivers is, just don't wreck. I don't care what you do. Just don't wreck it. I don't care where you finish. I don't care who's first and second. But let's bring home the 1-2. Let's not do anything stupid and take ourselves out of podium positions. Let's not take ourselves out of this race for no real reason. See the second car pack right here. John McMillan Jr. and Hunter Collier. They can see race leaders. Let's jump on board. Take a look out of the cockpit here on board with John McMillan Jr. The 15 up 11 positions from where he qualified. So from just inside of your top 15 to inside of a podium position. 2.7, 2.8 back. Can they find a way? Can they find the speed? No help coming from behind. It's 2 versus 2. So we'll find out how things shake out here as drivers continue to trace down to your top two here tonight, making their way back across the start-finish line with just 11 laps remaining. Here from Talladega Super Speedway, the Rich DPC machine, powered by Nitro and wheeled by Todd Gray. Out front showing the way, Bailey Dutton, his teammate right behind him. They're going to work their way off of turn number 2 and now back down the backstretch, heading into 3. Lap traffic may come into factor and may come into play. What will Todd Gray do when he gets there? We've got 3 lap machines just in front of your race leaders. The 48 of Corey Melton losing a little bit of pace to the 2 cars in front. I believe that's going to be, that may be Jason Branch just off in front. We think that is Jason Branch right on the cusp of falling off the lead lap. And yes, indeed it is. That's Tommy Haynes and Jason Branch, 12th and 13th on the racetrack. But coming up on Corey Melton here, will Gray just fall in line? Will he be willing to give up the momentum and possibly allow that 15 and 38 to catch up? Moving to the high side, a little bit of a gentleman move there for that Lowe's Power of Pride number 48 machine. Corey Melton going to let the race leaders on by to let this thing get sorted out without being too much a factor here, but he is going to join this little draft pack. Those 3 cars are now going to be faster than what the 2 cars were, and you can see the gap immediately affected from 2.8 to almost 3.5 and a half a lap, and that is what help from a 3rd car will do for you. So with under 10 to go, looks like it's a 2-car shootout for tonight's checkered flag, and the Do It for Dale 225. And you know, race fans, I want to give you a broader picture of tonight's race. The fact that we have been green flag racing since we started here tonight, clean and green, for all 82 laps so far here tonight. 225 miles, the official race distance. These drivers have done it in just over an hour. 70 minutes to be exact. 225 miles almost behind them. Translate that into when you're taking your next road trip. When you head to that city that's an hour away, think about how many miles it is. And that lets you know the high rate of speed that these guys are traveling around this track. Over 195 miles an hour. Getting the job done behind the wheel. You can see Haynes and Branch staying connected, trying to stay out of the way, but staying at the bottom of the racetrack, easily making that pass was Gray and Dutton. And what once was 2 will now be 5. That is going to hurt the chances. Look at that. John McMillan Jr. falling back now. Over 5.5 seconds back. That's just again, how important, how crucial the draft and the numbers truly are. Here are these Gen 4 machines, the old school NASCAR back on track. Here with SwiftMotorSports, Ayers High Racing Paints Cup Series. And what a night, what a race. I don't care what happens over the course of these final 5 laps. We could have 15 cautions. I don't think that's going to be possible, but as a matter of fact, it looks like potentially maybe 3 cautions here tonight, but I don't think we're going to see it. These guys have put on an absolute clinic on how to run a super speedway. These guys at the front have run a clinic on green flag pit stops. Yes, John McMillan Jr. and Hunter Collier, they've lost ground over 5.5 seconds back now. But let's make no mistake about it. Hats off to both of those drivers as well. They were inside of your top 5 and are inside of your top 5 still. The majority of tonight's race, keeping it clean and clear. No pit road penalties. And that is the fruit of your labor. John McMillan Jr. sitting in that final podium position, up 11 spots from where he qualified. Field will see. 4 laps to go here at Talladega Super Speedway. The Do It for Dale 225 winding down, and a handful of these drivers are going to be able to breathe a bit easier when it comes to those overall points championship. Next week, we're going to really eyeball your championship drivers. We're going to highlight those guys that are locked into the playoffs. And we're going to start to clue in right around that 16th position. From about 13th to 18th is where we're going to start really looking into to set up the run for the playoffs here this season. With Swift Motorsports Airs High Racing Paints Cup Series back across the line with just 3 to go. And continuing to pull away are the 2 at the front. Will they throw it away by racing amongst themselves? A little bit of pride factor right now for that 17 in the 22. We're on the lead lap for the majority of tonight's race. It does finishing 12th or 13th sound good? Well, no. But if you could say I finished 13th with the final driver on the lead lap, just kind of sounds a little better, right? So as popsicle sticks go on display for your race leaders, we've got just 2 to go. Down the back stretch, side by side, but not for the race lead. We're going to be 1-2 on the bottom of the racetrack, coming through 3 and 4, and we have done it. We will run tonight's race from start to finish, non-stop. 3 green flag pit stops to get to the end here tonight as white flag flies. Final lap here, the Do It for Dale 225 for Swift Motorsports Airs Iron Racing Paints Cup Series. Out front, showing the way with lap cars in the front and lap car behind, with 1 beside. Your race leaders, Todd Cray and Bailey Dutton, make their way down the backstretch. Through the corner for the final time, and there's not gonna be a race to the line. Todd Cray looks to pick up his 3rd win of the season. Bailey Dutton saying maybe not so quick. 2-3 wide, and Dutton and Cray bang, and they crash across the line. Teammates crashing across the line, but Bailey Dutton picks up the race win. Let's go back, let's check it out one more time. And there's that move, 3 wide here for Dutton. 17 way on the bottom of the racetrack. He's not in contention here. Let's take a look, though. Photo finish. We're going to watch this thing come across the line. And coming to the line, and there it is. Dutton ahead by about a half a car length. What a job. Well done here tonight for the man that picks up just his second win of the season. Bailey Dutton going to walk away with the checkered flag, and he's going to bring the car to victory lane. We're going to step away for just a brief commercial break, get things set up and ready to go for your post-race interviews. Don't go anywhere, race fans. We'll be right back. And back trackside at the conclusion of tonight's green flag race from Talladega Super Speedway. 90 laps of green flag racing. Here with the Swift Motorsports Ayers iRacing Paints Cup Series, these drivers put on an absolute clinic when it comes to restrictor plate racing. So we're going to dive right in to your post-race interviews. Let's see if we can't dial up and have a few words with the man that was heating things up on the high side, making things interesting for us here tonight. Behind the wheel of that 38 machine, up 10 positions from where he qualified into third. Hunter, how you feeling?
I'm feeling all right. I felt like I could have gotten a better result, but a podium's plenty enough for Talladega.
Well, man, you gave us a good bit of action all night long, right? You were one of the few drivers really, I don't want to say willing to risk it, but you were one of the few drivers to jump out there on the high side, whether you had help or not. Does the side draft in this car work differently or work much more than what we see in maybe the new car?
Yeah, it's definitely a whole lot different. You can get runs on the high side despite being the only car there, so that's why I was trying to make moves. Sometimes they work, sometimes they didn't, but it's Talladega and there was an other way of getting up to the front, so that's what I tried to do. You know, trying to lead laps. You're not running for points, so you got to try and get the best result possible.
Yeah, I mean, you're. It looks like you're kind of outside the window for the championship 16, but you're still out there giving it your all, trying to get to victory lane and get those good podium finishes. This is going to give your point standings a shot in the arm. Maybe, possibly, we'll have to look at the math, but if you can possibly walk away with some wins here in these next 2 weeks, you never know what might happen. We'll see how it goes. But again, congratulations on a great run here tonight. Before we let you leave, though, would you like to give any shout outs, thank yous, love yous?
Just like to thank the team, obviously Peak Racing. Even though they weren't here tonight, it's just nice to have them supporting me. But I'd like to thank the admins too for having a clean race. The drivers as well. They put on a good show. No contact, no hard racing, just straight up good driving. Want to thank you as well for the broadcast. It's very professional from what I've seen.
Well, man, we appreciate the kind words. I know the admins, officials, and your fellow drivers appreciate it as well, Hunter. We hope we get to talk to you again. We've still got 7 weeks before we end the season. Only 2 left in the regular season, so a lot of opportunity to get back up here in the booth. We'll see how you go about it for the rest of the year. But until then, as always, stay safe and keep it fast.
All right, thank you, Dave.
All right, there you have it. Final few words from the man that, even though he's walking away in third here tonight, a little bit down, wanted to do a little bit more. Just the opportunity wasn't there to present itself at the end of tonight's race, but still a solid night behind the wheel of that 38 machine. Hunter Collier finishes in third. That's going to lead us right along to our bridesmaid of the night, securing his chance to run for a season championship, finishing second behind the wheel of that number 21 machine. Hey, Todd, man, didn't we talk last week, man? How you doing?
Hey man. Yeah, last week a little different. I think it was the number 1 spot, but one of those races, Talladega, had a great run. Hit the great pit stop there. Teammate Bailey and Corey worked together there at the end, and yeah, basically just said, all right, let's race it out. And then we had a couple lap cars, and that made it interesting, which was pretty cool. So yeah, we were just coming down. I didn't know if I want to jump out and chance Bailey staying in that draft, or try to push to 17 and stay low. I didn't know what to do, honestly, but yeah, what a fun finish. It's hard when it gets stretched out like that. You got to have good teammates. We had good pit stops. Had somebody had speeding. Corey had speeding on pit road, which hurt him. But yeah, I mean, it was fun all night. Long race. Well, yeah, we'll take the runner up. Bailey's a great teammate, and yeah, that was fun.
Well, with tonight's second place showing, you do secure your chance to run for a championship. You're going to be solidly inside of the top 16 without any problems. But your teammate does you one up here tonight and is going to pull even with you in the win column. I'm going to put you on the spot here. Who you think gets the most wins this season? Is it going to be you or that 26? We're going to make some fans mad with it too.
I'd have to look at the schedule there. I didn't really study the schedule.
Politicking. Come on.
I'm going to get the most wins. We know that. I mean, tonight was a giveaway. My buddy. You can't win every race. I'm only kidding. Now Bailey's like he's been really strong. So it's good to have be teammates with a guy like that. And we said 1-2 either way. We're all right with it. Once we get to that straightaway, let's race it. And it's just what we did. That little bump and grind there, and that's what a good teammate's supposed to do. So I take my hat off to him, and I'm not sure where we're at next week, though. I can't. It's hard to make it a prediction from here.
Well, we know Kansas will finish out the regular season. We've always seen you fast there. Bailey also fast there. So I mean, it's gonna be close between you guys. We're not gonna stir the pot or poke the bear much longer with this one, but. Todd.
I don't know if Bailey knows that, but once you talk to him about it, I'm sure we'll have some chats in the room here about it, have some fun with it, and we make each other better. So we got a good team here, and especially on Talladega, But it's just fun.
Absolutely.
Appreciate you making the great calls and everything Swift does here. Cousin Jess, Trixie, she's watching at home. I have to explain the second place finish tonight, but. appreciate her and her always checking in on me, make sure I'm practicing, and yeah, about it, man. Just ready to go. Momentum's good, team's good. Let's do it.
All right, my man. Well, again, congratulations on a great finish here tonight. And we'll see if we can catch up with you throughout the rest of this season, maybe in these last 2 regular season races. But until then, as always, stay safe, keep it
Yes,
fast.
sir. All right. Have a good night. Thank you.
All right, there you go. Final few words from Todd Cray, trying to poke the barrel, you know, stir the pot a little bit, maybe get some teammate controversy going on. You never know, but as always, he finds a way to politic his way out of this one. Todd Cray gonna walk away in second here tonight. That's gonna move us right along and into victory lane for just the second time this season, picking up win number 2. Bailey, it's Dave. How you feeling, bud?
Pretty good.
Well, it was between you and your teammate, right? You guys ran with each other all night. You pitted with each other all night. You made the strategy work. You got the job done at the end. Just off the press, too. This race win secures your championship 16 position. So you get to chase after that season hardware. So with just 2 weeks left, you think you can do Cray one up and get that 3rd win in these next 2 weeks?
I'm gonna give it everything I got to do it. There's a bunch of trash talk in there, so it's definitely something we've talked about.
Well, we're not going to lie to you one bit or hide it from you. We were stirring the pot a little bit, and we're not going to tell you the answer. You're going to have to go back and watch it. But we asked your teammate, you know, who's going to walk away with the most wins this season, and I'm not going to be the one to tell you what he said. You know, I'll make you
I'm
figure
sure he
that
said
out.
he is.
Well,
I'm sure.
you know, maybe this is why you guys are such good teammates, is you already know what the answer is.
Yeah, we do know each other pretty well.
Well, man, it's been a fantastic season for you. I mean, you're a little bit down in the point standings coming into tonight's race. I believe came into tonight sitting in 6th. But this race win definitely going to catapult you through the regular season championship points. You thinking about maybe trying to grab that regular season championship?
We'll see what we can come up with. I mean, I'm down a little bit after last week, so I'm not sure if it's something that's obtainable. We'd have to have some crazy things go on, but if it's within reach, I'm gonna try.
Well, mathematically, it's right on that window. So I mean, I'll be frank. You're gonna have to win these next 2 weeks. So hopefully you get it done. Let's make it a 3-peat. What do you say?
That's tough to do. That is tough to do. Todd almost did it.
Well, Bailey, we're not going to keep you much longer. We're going to let you celebrate this race win, celebrate the fact that you've got that spot secured in your championship 16. So before we let you go, any final shout-outs, thank yous, love yous?
Yeah, if you'd have told me I was gonna secure playoff points at Talladega in both trucks and the Gen 4, I would have probably thought you were crazy. But just shout out to Todd and oh God, I'm drawing a blank on my own teammate Corey. Todd and Corey, we worked together all night, and I believe that's how we secured a good showing for our team today. So shout out to them and you and Swift.
Well, my man, as always, you hear me say it week in and week out, and every time we have the opportunity to catch up with you, always a pleasure to do so in these post-race interviews. And moving forward in these final regular season races and in the playoffs, stay safe and keep it fast.
Thanks, Dave.
All right, there you go. Final words from your race winner here tonight from Talladega Superspeedway and the Do It for Dale 225. Just his second on the season, but securing his chance to run for a championship. Bailey Dutton will walk away with the top spot here tonight. Checkered flag in hand, and what a night, what a race it was. Flag to flag, green flag action. As producers hit those buttons in the background, it's time to run down tonight's unofficial race results. Walking away with the top spot Checkered flag in hand behind the wheel of that 26. He'll pick up his second win. Bailey Dutton tops the charts. Todd Craig at a slide home in second, with Hunter Collier finishing out. Your podium drivers, 15 machine of John McMillan Jr. will come home fourth, with Dalton Fredericks right behind him in fifth, sliding home in sixth. And the doer for Dale 225, the number 9 machine of Mike Compaggio. John Wimbish led a handful of laps, but unfortunate pit road cycle at the end of tonight's race. That 56 will finish in 7th. Nick Hunt back in 8th, picking up ninth tonight. Behind that, Summit Racing number 6 machine, Elsie Daly. The 01 of Cody Sleeper will finish out your top 10. 11th here tonight from Talladega Superspeedway, the 5 of Gary May, with the 17 of Tommy Haynes in 12th. The number 22 Barbie machine of Jason Branch in 13th. 14th tonight belongs to Daniel Grimm. Casey Duncan back in 15th. Corey Melton, early pit road trouble, finishes in 16th. John McMillan Sr. back in 17th with the Cuban missile rocket. Roy Fernandez picking up 18th, but he will secure his spot inside of the top 16 and chase after a championship, finishing out the field in the 57 machine, walking away with 19th tonight, Brian Wasserman. Lazy Race officials here tonight, Andy Starcher and Don Kidder. Not going to have to do much work at all here from Talladega Superspeedway, so we're going to begin to cut off the lights and roll up the cords. But before we go, if you haven't already, tell your friends to tell their friends and family. Let's get this 4K push rolling. Let's try to get to 4,000 subscribers before next year is out. So go ahead and join us in that push to 4K. Show these drivers the love. Drop that thumbs up. Click subscribe. Smash that bell over there on the right-hand side. Get notified anytime we go live here on the Turn 3 Racing Network, whether it's myself, Dave of the Cave, or anybody else back at the Turn 3 headquarters. We do appreciate each and every one of you. Each and every time you stop by, whether you're sliding in to say hey, or you are one of our dedicated fans, friends, or family, we do appreciate each and every one of you. Big shout out to each and every one of the sponsors: Air's Eye Racing Paints, Performance Motorsports, Butt Kicker, Beef Jerky Unlimited, Mountain Mafia Kennels, Dale Earnhardt Chevrolet, and Out of Work RP on 5M. If you're looking for a good time, head on over to 5M. Get your GTA on. They drove it like they stole it. Flag to flag here tonight from Talladega Superspeedway. With that being said, stay safe, stay loved, my friends, and until next time, we'll meet ya in Turn 3.